Long, oh long, long ago, in a small fishing village on the coast of Ibadan, there lived a young woman named Amina. She was known throughout the village for her beauty. Amina had smooth, dark skin that shimmered in the sunlight, big, bright eyes that sparkled like stars, and long black hair that flowed like waves in the sea. But Amina had a secret. Every night when the sun went down, she would change. Her legs would turn into a beautiful fishtail, covered in shiny blue and green scales. She would become a mermaid. Amina lived alone in a small hut near the beach. She was very careful to hide her secret from the other villagers. She was afraid they might think she was a strange creature, or even a witch if they found out. During the day, Amina worked as a basket weaver. She made beautiful baskets from palm leaves and sold them in the village market. Everyone liked Amina because she was kind and always had a smile for everyone. But at night, when everyone else was asleep, Amina would sneak down to the beach. She would wade into the warm water and swim far out into the ocean. As a mermaid, she could breathe underwater and swim faster than any fish. Amina loved her nighttime swims. She would play with the dolphins, talk to the whales, and explore the colorful coral reefs. But she always made sure to come back to shore before the sun came up. As soon as the first light of dawn touched the water, her fishtail would turn back into legs. For many years, Amina lived this double life. She was happy, but sometimes she felt lonely. She wished she could share her secret with someone, but she was too afraid. One day, news spread through the village that the chief of a nearby town was coming to visit. His name was Chief Adebayo, and he was known to be a kind and wise leader. The villagers were excited and started preparing for his arrival. Amina thought this might be her chance to leave the village and start a new life somewhere else. Maybe in a bigger town, she could find a way to control her changes. She decided she would try to get Chief Adebayo's attention when he visited. On the day of Chief Adebayo's arrival, everyone in the village gathered on the main road. They wore their best clothes and brought gifts of food and craftwork. Amina put on her prettiest dress and wore a necklace made of seashells. When Chief Adebayo's group came into view, everyone cheered. The chief rode on a beautiful white horse, surrounded by his advisors and guards. As they passed by, Amina stepped forward and bowed deeply. Chief Adebayo noticed Amina right away. He was struck by her beauty and grace. He stopped his horse and asked, "What is your name, young lady?" Amina looked up and said in a clear voice, "My name is Amina, Honorable Chief." Chief Adebayo smiled and said, "Amina, would you like to come with us to my town? I could use someone with your grace and beauty in my court." Amina's heart beat fast with excitement. This was her chance. She nodded and said, "I would be honored, Chief Adebayo." The other villagers were surprised but happy for Amina. They helped her quickly pack her things, and soon she was riding in one of the chief's wagons, heading towards her new life. As they traveled, Chief Adebayo told Amina about all the wonderful things in his town. There were big markets, beautiful buildings, and lots of people from different places. Amina listened with excitement, but also worry. How would she keep her secret in such a busy place? When they arrived at Chief Adebayo's town, Amina was amazed. She had never seen so many people in one place before. The chief's compound was huge, with many buildings and servants running around. Chief Adebayo gave Amina her own room in the women's quarters. It was bigger than her whole hut back in the village. There were colorful cloths on the walls and a soft bed to sleep in. For the first few weeks, Amina was very happy. She wore beautiful dresses and ate delicious food. The chief often invited her to sit with him and talk. He liked to hear about her life in the fishing village. But as time went on, Amina started to worry more and more. It was hard to sneak away at night in this big, busy place. There were always people around, even late at night. And the nearest beach was far away from the chief's compound. Amina tried her best to hide in her room at night. She would fill a big tub with water and sit in it, letting her tail form. But it wasn't the same as swimming in the ocean. She missed the feeling of gliding through the waves and talking to her sea animal friends. One night, there was a big feast in the chief's compound. There was music and dancing, and everyone was having fun. Chief Adebayo asked Amina to stay by his side all night. He wanted to introduce her to some important visitors. Amina started to panic as she saw the sun setting. She tried to make excuses to leave, but the chief kept asking her to stay just a little longer. As the last bit of sunlight disappeared, Amina felt the change starting. She tried to run, but it was too late. Right there, in front of everyone, Amina's legs turned into a beautiful mermaid tail. She fell to the ground, unable to stand. The music stopped. Everyone stared at Amina in shock. Chief Adebayo's eyes were wide with disbelief. "What magic is this?" he shouted. "Guards, seize her!" Amina started to cry. "Please," she begged. "I'm not a witch. I was born this way. I can't control it." But the chief wouldn't listen. He was angry that Amina had kept this secret from him. He ordered his guards to lock her in a small room with no windows. Amina spent the night crying in the dark room. When morning came and her legs returned, she thought her life was over. She was sure the chief would punish her severely for deceiving him. But as she sat there feeling hopeless, she heard a scratching sound at the door. Then she heard a whisper. "Amina, are you in there?" Amina recognized the voice. It was Yemi, one of the kitchen boys who had always been kind to her. "Yes, I'm here," she whispered back. "Don't worry," Yemi said. "I'm going to help you escape. What I saw last night, it was amazing. You're not evil, you're magical. You don't deserve to be locked up." Amina felt a spark of hope. "But how can you help me?" she asked. "I have a plan," Yemi said. "Just be ready when I come back tonight." All day, Amina waited anxiously. She wondered what Yemi's plan could be. As night fell, she heard the door unlock. Yemi quickly came in, carrying a bundle of clothes. "Put these on," he said. "They're my clothes. If we cover your hair, people may think you are a boy in the dark." Amina quickly changed into Yemi's clothes. They were a bit big for her, but they would do. Yemi then led her quietly through the dark corridors of the compound. They almost got caught twice by guards, but Yemi knew all the best hiding spots. Finally, they made it to the stables. Yemi had already prepared a horse. "This is as far as I can go," Yemi said. "Ride east towards the coast. There's a small fishing village there where my uncle lives. Tell him I sent you. He'll help you." Amina hugged Yemi tightly. "Thank you," she said. "I'll never forget your kindness." With that, Amina climbed onto the horse and rode off into the night. She rode hard, afraid that at any moment she would hear the sound of the chief's guards chasing her. As the sun began to rise, Amina saw the ocean in the distance. Her heart leapt with joy. She was almost safe. But then she heard the thunder of hooves behind her. Looking back, she saw a group of the chief's guards gaining on her. Amina urged her horse to go faster, but she knew they would catch her soon. Just as the guards were about to reach her, Amina saw the beach ahead. Without thinking, she leaped off the horse and ran towards the water. The guards shouted and ran after her. Amina dove into the waves just as the sun peeked over the horizon. The guards stopped at the water's edge, watching in amazement as Amina's legs transformed into her mermaid tail. With a final look back at the shore, Amina dove deep into the ocean. She swam faster than she ever had before, her powerful tail propelling her through the water. Soon, she was far beyond the reach of the chief and his guards.